Hello, Western Oregon sports fans, and welcome to this edition of Wolves Weekly. Joining me in the studio today, head men's basketball coach, Brady Bergeson. Brady, get the opportunity to come back home this weekend after a little bit of time you had on the road this last week. Kind of a little bit of reversal of fortunes, unfortunately, up there at Seattle Pacific. You guys dropped a close one in the final seconds of the game. And although it's unfortunate to lose it, as I know you never want to lose a game, it kind of brought a lot light to the fact that you guys are now 6-1 in games decided by 4 points or less.
Yeah, it's true. You know, you play enough of those tight games. We've had a number of them this year. You're not going to get every one of them, and you're fortunate to come out on the winning side each and every time. And you know, we had our chances in this game. It was we were up 6 with about 2.5 to go, and you know, a lot of credit to Seattle Pacific. They made some plays, and we did not down the backstretch there to close it. That's what you have to do. But yeah, we've been very good in tight games this year, as you pointed out. I think 6-1 in those one or two possession games so far this year. So you know, our guys will bounce back, and we have learned from it. You know, and I think our guys will be fine. It's a you know, you're not going to get through a season unscathed like that. You just, you know, you're going to take a bullet here and there. And you know, I think this group's a very confident group, our group, in that we're a bunch of guys who really believes in each other. And I think that they were disappointed themselves for the way that they responded in that game down the backstretch. But again, full of character, and I fully expect us to bounce back.
You guys are going to have the opportunity this week to host two teams you guys have seen one time through this season already. Western Washington, who's actually leading the GNAC, ranked number 14 in the country right now, comes into Monmouth, and that'll be on Thursday at 7 p.m., and that'll be followed by Simon Fraser on Saturday at 2 p.m. Right. Both these teams were a very tough challenge for you up on the road up there. You guys might have beat Western Washington by 10 points, but that's one thing about basketball. The final score is not always indicative of exactly how close a game was. That was another one you guys had to close out, and the same thing with Simon Fraser up there. Yeah,
absolutely. We went up, and Simon Fraser was our first game. That was the Thursday game, the first time we played them around, and they gave us everything we could handle. They went up 1 with under a minute to go, and we had to come back and score a bucket with less than 10 seconds left to go ahead and then get a stop. And we were fortunate to come out of there with the victory. But that was one of those tight one-possession games that you're talking about this year. And you know, the Western Washington game was hard fought. Their floor, we played very well that game, and you know, I think it was a 10-point. The final score was a 10-point game. But like you said, it was a, you know, anytime you play somebody like that, I mean, you're within a couple of possessions there of trying to close it out, and with a minute or two left, and just trying to finish things off. And fortunately, we did in both situations. And so you know, it's always a little more difficult to play teams the second time around for everybody, and everybody knows everybody a little bit better. And so you know, we've got to sort of go back to the drawing board and figure out what worked, what didn't, what we can do, and sort of how things have evolved to this point in the season, because it's not the same exact two teams playing this time around.
Well, fantastic, Brady. It's great to hear, and like you said, always interesting to hear, especially with the challenges of conference having to play somebody in basketball twice. I mean, everybody talks about football and how tough it is to go through a conference with that one, but most times, well, besides the GNAC, you only have to play somebody once. I mean, basketball, like you said, you have to see somebody twice, a lot of adjustments there. But the one thing that'll be great when you play these teams a second time around, you get to be at home. And we've had some good crowds out here this year for you guys out at New PE, and we hope we can do the same thing out there. Students are all back. They've done a great job coming out supporting their fellow classmates in the Wolves. So just want to remind everybody that the game is once again against Western Washington, conference leader, number 14 team in the country. You guys, not to jinx anything here, had the opportunity to play another ranked team earlier this season, Augustana here at home. Had a very good game against them, and great crowd support them as well. So hopefully fans come out to that one. And then the other game will be against Simon Fraser on Saturday at 2 p.m. So hope to see everybody out at New PE this week. And just want to say thanks to everybody for watching this edition of Wolves Weekly.